playing D&D pre-starting D&D, which is wild to think about. What happened last time? I kind of did a bit of a look back, but if you guys have got anything as well, we left Krona Peak after dealing with Snap and his underground criminal kind of syndicate trying to turn everyone into robots. Freed our friend, your mentor, Ghost, and him, and I believe there was another person. Oh, yes, the blacksmith. We got Puck to escort them out of the city in full safety, going undercover. Not undercover, incognito, witness protection kind of jam. And then decided to leave for Shan and Mulgrave University, which is where Hera and Molokov studied, as there is going to be a crown, the lidless crown it is called, on display. Again, I couldn't find any notes to suggest otherwise, but the day after tomorrow. So we're on today. There is a gala dinner for important people tomorrow. And then the day after, the crown goes on public display, which everyone is quite a buzz about. We've linked this crown as an item of interest to these two parties, to the Emerald Claw and to House Jarosco. They both seem to be interested in this, as it seems to be the final point of interest on the map. It's been held by Dean Tullis, which is one of the deans of the College of Lawhold, which specialise in history and relics and such. And Dale, did you scried on the dean, I believe, and we saw her in the office, or Hera scried on the dean and saw her in the office looking at this crown in a casing and kind of muttering to herself, alone in a room. And that's also when Hera started manically laughing after her scrying for a solid couple of minutes, really throwing everyone off with Hera and the way she interacts with her magic, especially causing a lot of concern for Molokov as well. But Hera is, branching out on her own and doesn't need Molokov to babysit her at every step of the way. And I think everyone is kind of in this, we kind of went through it as we leveled up, which if you needed to change anything on your character sheet, you probably haven't looked at it in a couple of months. We can increase our hit points, but we won't go back to full until we have a long rest. So, deciding to go to Mulgrave University, you organised with the King of Krona Peak to use his teleportation circle. He agreed to that. You got that all done and dusted. I believe, Ghost, you pointed out some of the inaccuracies in his staff and kind of tipped him to have a bit of a deeper look and maybe weed them out himself, but you guys had decided that it was a bit of too much for you to do now when there's a bigger focus happening elsewhere, which I think was definitely the right call. You met Tim, the enchanter, who ran the portal. Because I didn't prep the day before and had to come up with a name on the fly. And he started it up. He said to you, you'll land in the Biblioplex, which here in Molokov you would have known as the central building in the university. If I'm not mistaken, you'll be met by a Quandrix Professor of Theory. Quandrix, for those who have heard of the university and stuff, is the study of mathematics and arcane mixing in with numbers and so on and so forth. Or more likely, one of their apprentices. show your seal, the seal of Corona Peak, and all will be in order. From what happens therefore, I cannot help with, I'm afraid. So, kind of classic, keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle of teleporting to a new city. Jump through the portal, and that's where it all went a bit weird. Finding yourselves in the webway, you were attacked by this mechanical spider-like creature that seemed to be programmed to hunt through destinations between portals, almost as if someone was expecting you to be traveling via this method. Had a couple of close calls where things, I think some people got a bit paralyzed in this area, some people stretched time and matter and jumping around, but nevertheless you bested it and came out the other side, tumbling out into this grand library, shelves on either side of you, stacked with books and tomes, and there's a coolness of the air as you've arrived early morning, and the doors opened, and a figure steps through, and that's kind of where we left off. So I go here. As this figure steps through, you see he has bluish robes on, kind of younger looking appearance, bit of darker skin, jet black hair, as he looks a bit frazzled and a bit worried as he steps forward and sees this party of people roll forward. Oh, whoa! I didn't realize this was. Well, sorry. Where have you come from? And you see this guy here. I'll be sending in the Facebook chat images. As he kind of, and you can see sparks of blue energy kind of around him. Who are you? I didn't expect that to work.
Man, I'll never get used to that. Everyone good?
You look around and Molokov is just unconscious on the ground. No, Molokov will be in the background. You can use it one advantage from him this session. Yes. Well. I'm so sorry. I thought I would try something with the. I know I'm not supposed to be in here, but I just thought I would give it a try. And you see another arc of blue kind of ring around his hand before it shoots off in all directions to the books around. He goes, "Oh, sorry. Let me just try and close that behind you." And he mutters something under his breath and goes, and as he does, you see the portal behind you close up, and then spark out as you see about 5 or 6 almost forms of things of energy appear in the library. And he goes, "Oh Christ, not again!" And I need everyone to roll initiative. Yeah. And you guys see this.
Oh my God, we're in a beautiful place.
And you see these things appear around you. These forms of fractal energy, kind of almost like they're trying to calculate themselves, and they're kind of glitching in and out of reality. And he has a look of actually, Ghost, you were the one talking to him. Can you give me an insight check to this guy?
forgot we need dice. Laban. Nope. 5.
5. Yeah, he looks confused, but also shocked. You're not too sure, but these things start to look aggressive. And what did I just add his turn in as well? So, Ghost, what did you roll? Well, I'll come back to you. Hera?
10.
10. Park and Jalug, you put yours in. Let's go for the fractals. 19. Nice! First roll of the year. Yes.
I hate to
And 6.
burst your bubble, but initiative is a skill check.
Oh, yes, you're exhausted.
Oh, so disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
Same. I rolled 2 10s. I'm
Oh,
fine.
nice,
So 11.
nice. Yeah.
I'm just like straight down the middle. Yeah, hang on. So we're exhausted, and we had this confusion last time because of the new update. So it's just disadvantage on skill.
So we're doing the old
exhaustion,
exhaustion.
So is that disadvantage on skills and like attacks, or just skill checks?
Not attacks. Skills.
Skill check.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Do you want to find that, please, Jed? So everyone's should be the same except Ghost. What did you roll?
7.
Oh, it's one better than this guy that you've seen. And then obviously Envy just goes straight after you. Cool. So Puck, ready as ever. This figure has started casting some sort of spell. The portal's closed behind you, but even you catch that he just looks a bit overwhelmed of anything. But him, you're not too sure on. These blue things definitely look aggressive, and they are circled around you. If you can see up here as well, and then there are 2 down by him. Oh yeah. Yep. 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 That was not calculated. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Go for it. Just a normal shot then. Nice. That'll hit. There you go for damage. Nice. You cut through this thing, and as you do, your sword kind of almost starts to go through it as it's glitching out in real time, but then it connects with something. And you see some of the glitches like catch on fire, and it kind of gives us a screech of like a modem getting connected wrong. It's like, yeah! Yeah. Yeah, love it. All right. Okay, it is now their turn as they kind of grow in size and shrink and kind of almost take up some weird space. We'll go with the gun right next to you, Puck, first. It's just going to attack you straight with a quantum strike. That'll be 10 plus 2, so 23 to hit. 23 will hit, so that will be that'll be 5 points of force damage. Then you see the other ones. This actually works out quite nicely. You see them kind of rear up, and as they do, Hera and Jalug, you notice the ones on either end, like northeast for you, Jalug, and west for you, Hera. And as they kind of rear up, and these squares start reflecting, and you almost see your reflection in them. And what they're going to do is they're going to both use a quantum transfer. So I need you both to make con saves, please.
Disadvantage.
Yeah, this is disadvantage.
No, saves are fine.
Okay.
Saves 100 for exhaustion. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so saves are fine.
All right. That is a 16 for me.
16.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
You see your reflections in these things, and they rear up, and they kind of rear back down, and they don't actually do anything to you. But just to try and prove a point, one is going to do for Envy as well. So can I get a con save for Envy?
It's fucking huge.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
It's an 18 on the dice.
Yeah, Envy
Yeah.
passes, and so again sees the reflection, and so you see they don't actually come in for the attack. They kind of rear themselves up a little bit. These two down here, though, they're going to come in to this guy, and you can see that they both slither in and attack him with the quantum strikes. Oh dear, one's a natural 20.
Oh dear.
Do I save them, guys?
Before I roll damage, you'd got a chance.
Is he within distance?
Yeah, let's just cancel out the natural 20.
Okay,
I will use my reaction to silvery buff.
so I re-roll.
Yes.
That's a 14, so they do still hit him.
Okay, that's cool.
And together they do about 12 points of damage.
Ooh.
So you see these things come in, and force damage comes into him, and he's, oh, God, I thought I wouldn't have to face you again. And he kind of swings his cloak back, and you see he's got a couple of scrolls and stuff on him, and you see gets his hands ready to try and cast a spell back to them. His focus is entirely on them now. But Jalug, you're up.
Jalug, you have 1d20 you may use for an attack roll, saving throw, or ability check within the next minute.
Ah, sick. Well,
attack roll, ability check, or saving throw to make.
in that case, that's my. I'm going to move across to the one at Puck. That's my 30. And I am going to. So it's effectively I get to use. I've got advantage basically on something if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to use. I'm going to take a swing using. What is it called? Great. It's been so long. Great weapon. Master, so I have -5 to a hit, so I'll do that with my
Sure.
thing. So I rolled 2 10s, so it doesn't matter. So it's 18, so it's not so good. -5, so that will only be a 13 to hit, I think.
13 hits.
Yeah. Oh, 13 hits. Sick.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so that means D10. Woo, 6. 12 plus 5, so that is 22 points of, I guess, radiant damage as the blade chops through.
Nice. Same thing with Puck, is it kind of almost goes through something, but then it catches on one of these fragments
Yeah.
and rips it out, and it screams in pain. It looks pretty hurt now.
And I'll do the same again. But it's not with advantage this time. So I'll do the same again. 19 might, so that'll hit. For even more. Sorry, 24 points on this one.
Nice. You basically bring it back round and swipe through, and this thing shatters like glass. But instead of leaving residue on the floor, it kind of almost reflects the floor and the ceiling back, and it almost just disappears back into what was reality once to begin with. Nice. Anything else?
Awesome. I don't know. I'm not sure if I can do anything with a bonus action at this point. You know what? I have a bonus action to do a thing called a psionic recovery, so I've already used that. So, nope. I don't need to do anything else with a bonus action. So I think I'm done.
Nice. Hera. A place of magic filled in the air.
Yes, yes.
A place that feels familiar.
Still a bit of a predicament that we're in.
Give me a quick history check, actually.
Um, 19.
19. You haven't specifically been in this hall, but you do recognize these shelves and the books and the kind of covers that they're in. But more so, you recognize that this mage, or whatever you want to call him, is wearing House Quandrix colors.
Gotcha. And he does look could be helpful to us. Yeah, I think I will sort of be a bit thrown off by the like reflections and stuff coming from the weird things. I'll sort of avert my gaze down and see him down there. So I'll take a couple steps that way towards Ghost. And I think I'm gonna cast I'm gonna cast Wither and Bloom centered on these guys.
Very appropriate.
Try and give them a little bit of boost, seeing that he took some swings.
Yes.
We haven't played so long, I forgot how all my spells work.
I know, right?
So it's a Constitution save, please.
For both of them?
Yes, it's a 10-foot.
Yep.
That should be
Con +1, so we got a 13 and a 21.
Yeah, the 21 definitely saves, but the 13 doesn't. So the one that saved will just take half damage.
Yep.
So
Just where ease will go, not save on the left, save on the right.
it'll be 8 necrotic damage each.
So 4 for the one that saved.
Yeah, 4 for the one that saved.
Nice. And does old mate
he-
get any hit points back?
Yeah, so he can expend a hit dice essentially. So I guess whatever class he is,
Yep.
or one of those,
So
and
he
then add my spell modifier, so +5 to whatever he rolls.
6 + 5, so that's 11. He gets 11 hit points back. Nice.
Oi! Look at him maxing out a hit dice.
Love that. Yeah, you see this. Or how does the Wither and Bloom take effect?
Yeah, so I'll sort of slam the little staff, the new staff down, and sort of out the top of it, the little green energy and the twig will sprout. And I'll snapping up and the ball sort of growing around him. And then as it clasps back, and I'll sort of shout out and say, we're here to help. What are we fighting?
Nice. As you see the Wither and Bloom take effect, you see him go, "Oh Christ! I haven't even started casting yet." Oh, what? It turns around to you, Hera, and goes, "They're fractals. Don't let them look at you." And yeah, he kind of only gets that kind of word out before Ghost comes on to you.
This cannot be a normal way to be welcomed into a university.
As you pull out a gun.
Yeah, a coil rifle, in fact. I feel like
nice.
that's slightly.
I didn't say it.
I'll take a pot shot at this one here. I feel like the
Yep.
coil rifle is going to be less abrasive to the books. Yeah, we'll just put 4 charges into it.
Yeah, go for it.
I need to figure out. I'm pretty sure I have 12 charges left. So 8 remaining. Spell attack to hit. That's. What's my spell attack modifier? D&D. +7. 18 to hit.
That'll hit. Go for damage.
Wonderful.
You know when you read immunities and like resistances, and you're like, why? That doesn't make any sense for this creature. But sure.
Yeah, sure. So I'm attempting to do, that was 19 plus 9, 28 points of lightning damage.
Oh, wonderful. The lightning definitely connects and like conducts itself through this creature as it takes a significant amount of damage. Seems very hurt.
All right.
As you let off the shot, like,
I'll just take a couple of paces forward to about here, and we'll just get Envy to stick with me. Hold the line. Yep.
nice. All right, that brings us to old mate's turn. What he's going to do? Yeah, melee. Cool. He is going to look at these things and he's going to go, okay, just back off. I don't want you here. I'm going to learn eventually. And he whips out his hand and kind of casts like a lash of magical energy at them. He can only target one. He's going to go for a roll and miss. Not good. Not good. As he swings with this magical lash of energy, you notice that as he does it, your almost Wither and Bloom kind of resonates around, and a twig kind of goes around his arm. It's really weird that he's casting a spell. You haven't quite seen the way he's doing it yet in practice, but seems fitting enough. Here, can you roll me a D100, please?
Uh, 38.
38. Okay, brilliant. As he casts this lash, you see his left. He casts with his right hand, and you see his left arm suddenly shrink into his sleeve, and then his right leg shrink into his sleeve as his wild magic surge turns him tiny, and he lands on the floor and goes, "Oh shit! Oh shit!" And this guy is now tiny. That brings us back to the top of the round with Puck. I can imagine. Yep. That's right, yeah. Yep. That'll hit, yeah. Nice. Crossbow rips through it. And it's still standing just, but see, it has taken a massive body damage. Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah, go for it. Back to the right one. Yep. That'll still hit, yeah. That'll do it. Takes them completely out. Yeah, you see your whales from the grave, this green energy shoots across, and the mage is like, huh, I've never seen that one before. I know. Cool. That brings us to the fractals' turns. This one that got hit by the whales of the grave is going to rear up at you and kind of ignore this tiny human that's in front of them now, and look at you, Puck. And I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please. 16 total. Again, you see your reflections in it, but nothing happens. And what's going to happen is the three are going to try and do it to the party here. So we've got Jalug, Ghost, and Hera. Actually, I'll just check the measurement on that one. Yep. Jalug, Ghost, and Hera. Con saves, please.
Yeah, that's not good. That's an 11 for me.
11. Hera. 12. And Ghost.
19.
19. So, Ghost, you see this thing and you heard that warning of don't let them look at you, and you're kind of trying to aim through your sights, and you can see the reflection of yourself. But Hera and Jalug, you catch the reflections of yourself in there, and then suddenly the reflections look like you're standing where they are, and they're standing where you are, as you both swap places with the creatures.
Imagine it's like, don't look at this, and so you immediately go, what?
Yeah. But as you do, and you realize you are now standing in a different location of reality, you just feel that force come through, and you'll each take 10 points of force damage. As the replacements seem to be larger in size. That brings us to Jaluk.
So Jaluk's got his sword out, having just sliced through one, and he looks at, and what he's done is he's looking around for his next target, and as he looks, he makes eye contact.
Yep.
Starts moving forward, and then all of a sudden he's like in the wrong place. So I imagine he takes his first step at least
In the wrong
is
direction?
the wrong direction.
Yep.
Realizes what he's going 5 foot that way. Realizes what he's doing. Spins around and goes back down to this guy. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that still gets me there. And I'm going to take the swing.
Yeah, go for it.
Without a minus again, I think.
Call out the number because the AC has changed.
Yeah, so that would be a 19 minus 5, so it'd be a 14.
14 does hit. Yes.
Ooh, okay. So 10, 20. That is 26 points of damage then, because they rolled a max on that. So that's pretty cool.
Massive hit. Yeah, this thing like kind of almost shatters on the spot, but it sees you and turns around, and it's kind of just glitching out.
And so then I'll do the same again.
Yep.
That's higher. So that'll be 16 to hit.
Yeah, go for damage.
Also good. 8. 24 points.
Absolutely smashes this thing. It thinks it can get bigger. You just come and take it right back down to its place. In the same spot you took the other one out, you just take this one out.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have a thing that allows me to then make another attack against something else, but it's not. But there's nothing there. I think that's all my movement. So I think I'm kind of once again I'm sort of, or maybe I've got like 5 foot more, so I'll just move.
Yep.
I start heading towards the other one. And yeah, that's me.
Love it. Hera, you just traveled through a portal. You've just been relocated in space-time. This is not a good landing, but it's your turn. How are you looking, by the way?
Yeah, definitely feeling it after that one. It's where we were below half at the start of the fight.
Yep.
And half was fuck all. Realistically. So a sense of panic is definitely coming on. It's very early in the day. Fuck. Yeah, I think I do, because I don't think this one's been even been hit yet.
Not the top one, no.
And seeing that one's sort of surrounded. And he's fucking tiny.
Yeah.
But those ones are that's, I guess, close to Puck, and I trust Puck to handle that. Yeah, I think I'm going.
Gives you a weird sense of deja vu of how annoying tiny magic casters can be.
Yeah. I will probably be panicking though, so I'm going to turn to this one up here.
Okay.
And sort of grip the staff into me, hold it tight. Yeah, fuck. I will sort of, my eyes will start to roll back, and this purplish sort of energy will start emanating from like around out of my ears and the top of my head. And the same sort of energy is going to be sort of misting around this guy up here. No one else can see it, only he can see it, but around him, all these little mirrors are going to start popping up that are blue and fractal and sort of almost like he's trapped in a prison of his own being, feeling like he's teleporting around and taking his own force damage. I'm going to cast Phantasmal Killer.
Oh, all right. What's it?
So it's a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yeah, that's going to be a straight 6.
A straight 6. Okay. You take 23 psychic damage.
Massive.
and he has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls for the duration. So concentration spell. So I will just be sort of holding the staff into me and muttering, and the purple sort of just floating around my head.
Love that. It gets trapped within itself, and kind of you see it shattering into trying to break out of it, and deals almost force damage to itself through the psychic damage. It is still standing, but it does look hurt. Anything else from you here?
I know, I'm just pushing myself back up against the wall.
Yep.
Trying to stay outside.
Love it. Ghost, you're up.
Woo! Seeing people get bounced around the room and Hera pushing herself up against the wall. Also looking to the one to the north, and send Envy up in that direction.
Uh-huh.
Let's go take a bite at that one.
All right, go for it.
Regular bite attack. 19 on the dice. 20 for the hit.
That'll hit.
5, 6, 7, 8 points of force damage.
That's enough to kill it. As it's kind of fighting with itself, Envy just goes up and just rips it down and shatters it on the floor.
Wonderful. Good girl. And then I'm going to sprint down this way. Don't worry, tiny buddy, I got you. Get to about here. 5, 10, 15. Yep, that'll do it. 5, 10. Oh, maybe I have to be here. Yep, I think that'll do. And I'm going to pull a shiny metal cube out of my pocket.
Oh.
And press the second face. I'm going to use the cube of force.
I like it.
And this is going to bring a invisible barrier 15 foot on either side of me, so it should just encompass his square as well. And this barrier, non-living matter can't pass through the barrier.
How big is the square?
It is a 15-foot, forming a cube 15 feet, or 15 feet on a side, so I actually have to be closer to him. I've misread that. Oop.
Oops. Like that?
Something like that.
You want the creature outside of it, I'm assuming?
Yes. I kind of like push the face and say, I've got you, little fella, and nothing happens. Yep, that should work. We'll reach in and pull out the pistol again, and that's all my action.
Nice. Okay. So what can pass through this? Nothing.
Everything except for non-living matter. So I'm hoping these creatures are not made of what is considered living matter. But who knows?
Everything except... Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. So the cube of force goes up, and you see this tiny human look up at you and like, oh, wow, thank you. How about we get rid of these things? And he'll move his arms around and push forward with a ranged attack towards this thing, which will be... Nice, he actually hits it and does 9 points of damage to it. As non-living matter... Oh, hold on. Can a spell go outside of this cube? You're muted.
Spells are specific to a different face.
Gotcha. Lashes out this thing as he pushes some force damage, and you see this thing crack a little bit. And as it does, it kind of rears back. Ghost, can you roll me a D100, please?
Oh, no. How do I stand next to him? 87.
87. Okay. Okay. As you. Okay. Just going into a folder here. as as he Puck, you're gonna kill this guy. As he moves his hands around and forces out this magic, you see a grin just come across his face, and he's like, "Ha! How good!" And as he goes, "How good!" you hear a "Ooh!" as a hoot of an owl, but it sounds monstrous, comes from behind him as out of a realm from somewhere, an owl bear appears behind him. Oh god, it's not that big.
It's massive.
Back into the portal. Back into the portal.
I can't believe I healed this dude round 1.
Oh, there you go. It's going to go on 2 initiative.
Does it seem friendly?
Nope.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
As he says, "How good!" and you hear "Whoo!" behind you, and you turn as this owlbear kind of just crawls up from the floor. And he's like, "Oh shit!" As the owlbear's going to a swing, multi-attack, beak and claws. One beak's going to go to you, claws are going to go to him. So your first 17.
Yeah, that hits.
That is 10 points of piercing damage.
Nice and ouchie.
And claws 21 to hit him. 14 points of slashing damage. As you say, he goes, "Oh shit! I'm so oh shit! And you see, it's just a panicking. Hey Puck, there's an owlbear in front of you now.
That's invisible.
Yeah, but you would have seen Ghost do it. Like, I'm not going to say waste your shot on the thing. Yeah, cool. Go for it. Yes. That'll hit. Nice. Basically half its hit points. Big hit. I would even say you carved through this thing, and it's real as anything. It's definitely there. It's not an illusion or anything. Yep. Sure. Sure. Yep. Nice. It's definitely hurt. That was a big first hit. But it is now roaring in your face. It swings around, very agitated. Okay.
The words right out of my mouth.
Cool. You can't quite see around the owlbear's big butt to see his reaction, but you can tell it's one of Shane. It's the Fractal's turn. That one's he's dead. There's only 2 remaining. Yeah, this one tries to move forward to swing at you and ghost you and the mage, and can't get through this force. Yeah, good call there. So what it will do? I mean, unfortunately, it's going to move around, and I'm gonna roll a d10 actually, because it's not an intelligent creature. It's going to attack the owlbear. No, yeah, I was going to come around to you, Puck, because it can't get anyone else around there, but I think it would see this creature and just kind of go for it. So that's going to be... Yes, exactly. That is a hit. And that is going to be points. 7 points of force damage. And that's all it can do. The one behind, though, is... It's swap places with Hera. I think it is going to come down to... it's going to go to Jaluk for smashing 2 of its friends. That is 16, so 22 to hit. That'll hit. That is 12 points of force damage.
Okay.
But it goes to you now, Jaluk.
Yeah, well, makes my decision pretty easy. I'm going to have a good swing at it. I'll use that great weapon because it seems to be working for me. 14, 23, 18 is a hit, I guess.
That'll hit,
That's I get to reroll 1s and 2s. Ooh,
nice.
Sweet. Using all my things that I have basically never been able to use at this point. So, that's 22 points of damage.
Nice. You rip this thing apart.
Ooh, sick. I will then move.
It had already taken damage from Ghost's gun.
Yeah.
That one.
Oops,
Yeah.
I don't think there's none up north, is there? No.
Nah, they're all gone.
I will move 30 feet down towards the the last remaining enemies. So
Cool.
if I will do that once for some reason, it will actually let me select it. And I guess that is 6. That's all I can do at the moment.
All right. Anything you can do for Puck or anything being behind him?
No, I don't think I can do anything for him at this stage. It depends. Are you looking really bad, Puck? Okay. No, but being there now kind of helps, so I can do some things.
Okay, sweet. Hera. No longer have to concentrate on the one that Envy ripped apart.
That's good. That's quite handy. Sort of lose that sense of concentration and look over and see Envy over there shuffling through debris. Oh, thank goodness for that. I turn and see a fucking owlbear. I'm just very confused. Definitely not going to get any closer.
Just so Ian can look at a chat later on tonight, I'll put the owlbear in the chat.
There's one more. Who's taking some damage? So I think I'm sort of just still cowering against the wall, looking pretty fucking worse for wear at the moment.
Okay. You don't want to go and try and take on the owlbear hand to hand?
That's fine. Those guys got it. Those guys got it. I'll sort of pull my staff up and just sort of line where the fractal thing is. Sort of aim up and just two little balls of fire will shoot out, and I'm going to cast Firebolt.
Oh, nice.
So that would be. Is that a disadvantage because it's exhausted?
No, it's just an attack roll, so it's fine.
It's going to be a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
8 fire damage.
Is enough as the fireballs crash into it. Using fire in a library is not always a good idea, but getting rid of this fractal, nice.
Definitely not thinking straight at the moment. Just still in a little bit of panic. Didn't want to be fucking transported. Take another fucking bunch of force damage.
Good call. Good call. There's still an owlbear though.
Yeah. I suppose I'll run myself down over to the side of the bookshelf there and hide.
Nice. Good call. Hey, Ghost. There's an owlbear behind you.
God, what in the magic? Quickly pulls up the coil gun again. I'm just gonna take a punt at disadvantage of trying to make some owlbear cutlets.
All right.
No, that is a natural one.
Oh, natural one. Unfortunately for a natural one, you swing this coil gun around and let off a shot, but this owlbear is hurting from the sword impact of Puck, and it rears around, and your shot goes, and you see like a plaque saying like natural histories of the Underdark, and your coil gun just obliterates it off off the shelf.
Nice. And then the excess of the charge kind of sparks off the gun. I'll just use the extra attack as well.
Okay.
That's a natural 2.
It's not a natural
Couldn't
one,
get
so no
much
more
better than
literature will be destroyed.
Thank God for that. Down to 3 charges. And what can I do as a bonus action? Hope and pray. I hold my breath.
All right. Anything with envy?
I mean, she can come for a run.
Sure.
40
you
feet.
See this tiny human turn around and look up at you. As like he hears Puck yell out, "Stop casting spells!" He's like, "I'm sorry. I don't know how it always happens to me. Please help!" And he will just step aside behind you, not taking an opportunity attack as he's still in range of the owlbear.
Cool.
Unfortunately, missing that owlbear will give it an opportunity to swing at Puck, which he'll do with both attacks. I'll just roll at the same time. This is beak and claw. Okay, so one of them's a natural 20. and the other one's an 18 total. Yep. So does that re-roll? Oh, understood. Okay, so that'll be 14 plus 2. What's 14 plus 16? 20, 30. So half that, so 15 from the claws. You're muted.
I'm going to use throw up the force, use my force field as a reaction to take 9 points of that damage off as one of those strikes. The claw comes in, and between Puck kind of half dodging it but still getting hit, but that force field just pops up and just slows that strike a little bit more. So take -9 from that.
Cool. So 30 down to 15 minus 9, and then the beak comes in for 10. So yeah, as the claw slows down and you do that, and then everything kind of resolves, and the beak kind of just kicks through and gets you just at the end there, Puck. But that was good negation of damage there, and it's back around to your turn, and you are facing off with this thing, David versus Goliath. Hold on, let me bring it back to his original size.
40 to 16 is fucking awesome.
Because it's snapped to the grid, he's got chonky and gone square. Because I think the original picture was like that. Oh god. Oh, what's happening? Yep, go for it. Yes, you are flanking with Ghost and the guy. Yeah. That'll hit. Oh, okay. Not that I thought this was the creature how you want to do this, but it has 15 hit points left. So how do you want to do this? Yeah. Yeah. Slumps down. Yeah, this thing slumps down on the ground, and that takes us out of combat, if I am correct. Yeah. As everyone kind of takes a second to just realize what's going on.
Ah!
You see a tiny face pop out from behind Ghost's leg. Thank you. Oh, that is not what is meant to happen. As you see an arm, and he kind of grows back to original size. Get rid of this. Oh, yep. I will have to check. Oh, then it would have just been Hera. It would have just been Hera then. Okay. Sure. He grows back to original size, and he sees this halfling storming towards him with a flaming sword in his hand. He just puts his hands up and he goes, "Sir, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I mean you no harm. Uh, I'm sorry. Uh, Work. Oh God, if only I could get a job that pays more than volunteer. Sorry. My name is notes. Reese, notes. Get your notes. My name is Ephraim Videlis. But my friends, well, acquaintances, call me F. So that's Ephram Videlis. Which I'll put in the chat. Oops, I missed the E on the first name. Ephraim Videlis. Work for? I don't work for anyone. I'm a second year student here at Mulgrave University. I'm studying under the Quandrix study of physics, and well, I must apologize. I'm so sorry. He starts to put his hands down to explain, and sees that you're still holding the sword, and kind of puts them back up. He's not quite sure. Yeah. No. And he kind of puts his hand back up and he goes, I struggle with magic. Sometimes it doesn't go quite the way I envision it in my head, and I'm not accepted into any courses, and I've had to. Anyway, my sob story is not yours to hear. I was playing around. He sighs and goes, "Yes, I've encountered them once or twice before. It's a offshoot of the thing that happens when I sometimes get a bit overwhelmed by the magic I'm casting. I was in here studying the teleportation circle before the shift starts. Speaking of the staff might be here soon. I didn't mean to summon you from wherever you are. If I can help you, send you home, or I didn't mean to create the portal or anything. All I was doing was reading my books, and you see, he starts to get a bit frazzled, and you can tell that he is he's as innocent as a bystander.
I sort of look at Puck for a minute. Ghost was also angry for half a second, and then just saw this guy talking and talking and talking about stuff that had nothing to do with anything to do with us. And I was like, he's a clueless kid, Puck. Just, you didn't summon us from anywhere. We were meant to be here. Call it fortunate timing.
Jalug maybe has popped over and basically just is just like, man, if I knew school was this fun, I would have stayed in it.
Tahira.
Yeah, because
this kid's about to get in so much trouble.
Jalug's like, I thought school was all about books, but yeah, they teach you cool combat. He's just antsy.
For the second, it's still here. It's only been, Okay. Jim. Yeah. Sure. Hira, do you have a response for Jaluk? You came over and.
Sorry, what did he say?
I was just because I know that this is like your school, and Julie is just basically like my school wasn't as fun as this. This is awesome. Like, why would you leave university if you just get to do this cool stuff?
Well, not every lecture has a practical assessment. It's nothing else quite like
this. You were meant to be here. He kind of takes comfort in talking to Ghost now that Puck has backed off. Meant to be here. You're coming for the Magister's the ball. I know. That's what everyone's trying to do. And I assume that's why the Lawhold College has increased their personal security around the campus. It's not to everyone's taste, I can tell you that. But I suppose if you're running a event such as that, you need to take precautions.
Yes, we are here for these things as well.
Oh, you must be very honoured guests to receive an invitation to the ball. Uh, may I ask who you come with?
Who are we supposed to meet on this side of the portal anyways?
Are you asking me
We
as
were-
DM?
Yeah, sorry.
No one. You decided to just
We-
come.
We were potentially going to be greeted by one of the Quandrix or an apprentice, which I believe we are standing in front of inadvertently. But we did not come here to meet anyone specifically. I think the idea was we get here, we go and talk to your contacts.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, I am I part of the university as well. You see, I study under Professor Tvash.
Oh, you see his. He kind of takes a step back, just a little bit, and oh, how amazing! I've never met a graduate before. I apologize for my interaction. I don't know the protocols of talking to a senior student. Yes, I study under the Quandrix School of Radiance, and well, I haven't. What did you say? Like, I haven't had much to do with the college. Although, if that's the kind of magic you were casting before, you've got a very good hand at it, I must say. Maybe we can practice sometime.
Yeah, maybe. But we really probably should be, he will be waiting on us. So quite a few things that we probably need to sort out. Do you know your way around? You've been here for quite some time, obviously.
Yes, I managed to find my way around for the first year, and this being the beginning of the second year is well, quite exciting, I must say. Give me an insight check. Again, probably just talking. Probably he might mean like the start of semester, like not the start of the year kind of thing, because I know we're not at the start of the year in the calendar. But yeah, give me an insight check. 9. You're not really sure how school politics work and stuff. Yeah.
He did openly
Yes,
just say that he was kind of fucking around in his own time,
yeah.
studying a teleportation circle. I don't think he was necessarily meant to be doing what he was doing here.
No. But he did also say that he's not really accepted a lot of places because of his condition. But yes, he says to you here, he says, I'm familiar with the grounds, and I can point you in the direction of the Witherbloom holds, although you probably already know your way there. He kind of sees, he looks you guys up and down and catches some of the weapons and the backpacks and stuff, and he goes, I would just be careful not to draw too much attention to yourselves unless you want an audience with the Lawhold professors. They are being quite stringent on the security of the campus. In prep, it only started a few weeks ago.
Well, in that case, if you can take us in the nearest direction to someone who's able to sign us off with actually being here.
Of course, that would have to be with the Lawhold deans.
Wonderful. In the meantime, anyone want to throw their pointy things in a bag of holding? Some pointy things.
I would just lower my blade and it's just hanging up. So Just an empty hilt hanging on my belt.
Yep. You see, he goes. Well, usually we do have quite a lot of travelers come through and study here, and use of the library and the scrying circles and the teleportation circles. Kind of gestures over to this one. But because of this event, like I said, Dean Tullis has hired a personal security group to make sure that there is no funny business ahead of her reveal. Although what she has discovered is said to be quite exciting. I can't wait to see it.
Personal security, yeah. Part of the
Yeah,
university or external forces?
external. They're called the Oryx. Masked figures, bit of a tough guy look, but I wouldn't want to be caught, well, doing what I was doing in here by them. Which I should say, we should probably get out of here before they come and monitor the circle. They do try and track who comes in and out of the university.
Like I said, we're meant to be here. We got a note and everything.
Of course.
Are you trying to cover your own ass?
I'll show you the direction of where to go. And he goes and picks up a couple of scrolls from the desk and shoves them in a satchel bag. Anything else you'd like to do here first, or we really should be moving? Of course.
Yeah, Pat, do you want something for the copious amounts of bleeding you're doing? Yeah. Start with this piece of cloth.
Yep. As he finishes packing his bag, he kind of looks back at the owlbear body standing there and goes, probably not a good idea to leave that around. Maybe I could disguise it as something. And he starts moving over to it. Yeah. A moment passes, and you see the owlbear just start to dissolve into nothing as the wild magic surge has worn off that being pulled from wherever it was. And he goes, "Oh, looks like there's no need anyway," and kind of pulls his hand back to himself.
As far as Jalug is concerned, most magic is wild magic.
I would say here is probably like third of it. Not necessarily maybe it's like a condition as this guy's portraying, but definitely
Give me an Arcana check.
Casting spells and it going wrong and the magic is that's a natural one.
Carry on.
I mean the arcane weave, if you're pulling from it, could surely lash out with other, like if you don't know 100% what you're doing, maybe would be my assumption. And this guy seems like he doesn't know what he's doing, so
You've definitely
but not surprised that this guy's fucking shit.
Yeah, you've definitely miscast spells before yourself. What did she put in the chat? Oryx. They're actually spelled. But yes.
That was close. For which professor, sorry? Which is the professor with the unveiling? Just one more time.
Cool. So Professor Tullis, Tullus,
right.
is one of the head professors of the Lawhold College.
That's right.
She is the professor of order. Molokov and Hera, you would know that her opposite is the professor of chaos, which is Professor Prague. Each college has a kind of a yin and a yang kind of professor. Tavash for Witherbloom is obviously for the dark necromancy, and the other one, which I would have to look up, is for the life kind of side of things, and so on and so forth. Right. So what he'll do
for the time being.
Go on.
For the time being, I'll put my coil gun and hammers, everything considered weaponry, in the bag of holding except for the pistol, which I'll just keep sheathed.
Understood. Is anyone else giving their weapons over to Ghost?
I'll put my crossbow in. Yeah. But
Just
I'll
like
hold on to the blade.
load a little bit. Yep, sure.
I mean, it's pretty wrapped up in cloaks and clothing, so my gate will be somewhere on me, probably somewhere in my satchel, to be fair.
Yep.
And I'll just be almost leaning on the staff, sort of like an egg to walk.
I like it. All right, so if we'll kind of tidy up and lead you out to what I had described as you seeing through the doors into the central courtyard of the university, and you can see in the distance the towers of Shan on different levels and raising, and you can hear the buzz of airships going past, and you can hear the din of the city below, but it's very muffled by this almost enclosed university campus. And what you do notice as you go around, because F comes out and goes, yes, follow me this way. It's all the musings of a 90s feel-good film high school where there's people walking around with backpacks. There's ones with little drone thopters carrying their books for them. There's people off in the like reserve areas having like a picnic breakfast with their coffees, but they're like little mechanical cups with hot steam coming out of them, and they seem to kind of refill a little bit. There's probably a corner shop called Buck of the Stars or something, and some university campus coffee. But everyone seems to be hub-bubbling around, getting on their way in this morning that is like any other morning, except there is a tone that does feel a little bit off. You see kind of spread maybe every 3 or 4 blocks, there are a pair of sentient or sentinel kind of standing up, very rigid beings with masks on and dark cloaks. And they look like okay, ignore the picture of them handing a mask to a student because I'm repurposing the image, but it's the one on the left. These hooded, purple masked figures. In the Strixhaven lore, they are like infiltrators that are trying to convert students to like Voldemort's Death Eaters kind of thing. But this is just what the security look like. They're standing there. Students walk past. Some give them a little wave, and they give a nod back, like they are not threatening, but they do have a bit of a sense of gloom about them. It's not before long you walk through and you can see different cliques, definitely of the different schools of magic. You've got the Prismari college student, which are wearing bright reds and blues and yellows, and they're almost practicing a dance routine off to the side. There's the Silver Quills, who are all dressed in black, and they are practicing their shadow magic, almost like a routine Tai Chi group off to the side. Definitely a very overwhelming sense of the environment. But before long, F will lead you around to the law hold kind of perimeter. And here all the buildings are definitely look like relics of the past, but you can tell that they've been modernized. It's almost like they've taken inspiration from old cultures and built their buildings around it with modern materials. And you can see that the security presence is definitely higher here. He stops at the gateway and says, you'll find either Dean Tullis or Dean Prague in there. They will be able to give you clearance of being at the university during this time, but I don't think I'm very welcome in the law hold. Being of Quandrix, some people can get a bit funny about house loyalty and such. But if you need me, I'll be at the Fire Jolt Tavern this evening. If you want to catch up for a drink or anything, I'll probably be in the back corner. Or I usually save a couple of seats, but it's not like anyone ever. Anyway, he kind of rattles off and goes, but it'd be nice to have some company, and you can tell me all about your adventures, and maybe I don't know. Anyway, it was nice meeting you, and I hope I didn't cause you too much harm. As he kind of looks at some of the scrapes and bruises, I'm going to go and study up on how I can work out that teleportation circle. Anyway, anything else you need from me?
You owe us at least a few.
Of course. I'll have a word to the barkeep and see if I can get a discount. Student discount. I think I've got a card, actually. I think I'm on 9 stamps already. Maybe if I... Yes, it's in my dorm. Michael's like, oh, this is my day-to-day existence at uni.
I've met these people. These like bright little fresh-faced. Anyway. I'll kind of just pass them off of like, yeah, we'll keep our mouth shut, I guess. Hey, Hera, where are we? Who should we talk to? This Talus or Prague?
I suppose the dean is probably the best port of call. Do you have the seal that we were given? That would help us.
Yeah, that's that was just for transport, though. I mean, that's the reason we got here. But I mean, I suppose it's entry.
Yeah, it will at least help smooth things over. We arrived via the teleportation circle where we came from. They will hopefully recognize the fact that we are, well, some of us are students, so yeah, I think it would help at least. But I would say the dean is probably our best port of call.
I kind of want to meet this Professor Chaos guy, though. Sounds pretty cool.
Chaos has its moments. I'll sort of glance over my shoulder back to the wild magic guy that just.
All right. So I guess as you're having this conversation, you're on the precipice of this kind of area, and 2 of these security guards will walk up to you and go, you're loitering around a little bit. What's your business here? You coming in or you going? And it's kind of a bit muffled behind the mask, but you can tell that they're consciously covering their faces.
Yes, we have just arrived to the university, and we wish to speak with the dean. We just to alert them of our arrival. We know security is quite tight at the moment, so we don't want to be, just wandering around unannounced. We just teleported from Corona Peak through one of your circles.
You see them kind of look at each other, look back at you. That classic like stormtrooper, like like they don't seem fully qualified, but they're the ones with the power in the situation, especially in the school situation. And which dean do you have an appointment with?
No appointment. We have just arrived, you see. We thought it best to let you guys know that we were here. I'm actually studying under Professor Tavash. So we will be finding him and accommodating with him. We just thought it best to let the dean know,
They kind of look at each other, and the rest of you once again notice at the mention of the professor, they kind of give us a second. We'll see who is available. And they kind of turn around and see one puts his hand up to his ear, and you see like his helmet kind of gives off a bit of a messaging coding. Gives a nod. Gives another nod. Well, it seems you're in luck. Professor Prague is just finished his lunch. He'll see you shortly. If you head down that way and take a left, his office is up the stairs.
Wonderful. Appreciate letting us through.
They step aside and let you walk through. As you enter this kind of courtyard or area, like I said, it's all homage to ancient building techniques, and there's plaques of little relics that are set on pedestals, and you can see like this is the chisel that was used by a dwarf in 20,000 BC or whatever it is to carve out the mountains of this, and the next one is this is the crown worn by an elf, but they're all just marble replicas of these artifacts. And before long, you take a left and you come up to one of these tall, grand buildings, almost in the form of an old Gothic church, as it stands up, and it seems to have a spire higher than the other towers around it. As yet again another airship goes past. It's kind of like being close to an airport, as you just hear that every now and then, every few seconds, and it's kind of the hum of the city is definitely not what your ears are used to after being in the wilderness for so long. But above the store is a plaque that says like P.Plug, and the doors are wooden and seem to be unlocked, but you need to go through them. Is there anything you want to do before you enter into this hall office space?
Yeah, as we were walking in between the various just head snaps that Ghost is doing, just looking at this huge city. I think this is probably the biggest place he's ever been, and he's never seen Charm before, so all of this is quite new.
Yep.
He also just gives Malikov a nudge. He's like, these Oryx fellows, ever heard of them before? I guess I'll just use him to make a history check.
Yeah, sure. So you can make that history
if I
check
know
with
anything of them.
advantage.
Which is at a straight roll.
Yes, it will be because it's an ability check. So just to give you an idea, oh god, where did it go? Just an idea of the students around here. Drake. So this is what kind of your law holds look like. Very golds and whites, and there's statues of past beings and titans and stuff. And yes, there are Loxodons around the campus.
Yeah.
No monks though, not yet.
Is that like a scroll Gatling gun or something?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's really cool.
That's not what they're holding on campus, but that's just like the law hold title page picture. Yeah, you see these students with Gatling guns just having breakfast and getting ready to go to class.
That's the cover of the pamphlet they give you when they're like, "Come to College Law Hall."
Here you go. Here's a better one for you.
It does look like a college thing, because you'll notice that there are multiple races on that thing, even though, like, if you get there, it turns out that like 80% are white, or whatever. It's like, oh look, we totally have black people at this college. Like, yeah, absolutely.
We definitely have elephant people. Let me tell you.
We preach
They're all-
diversity, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great. Jalug is like, in the same way that you're saying that like Ghost is, I haven't been at Jalug. He's been in, like, Corona Peak was pretty big as far as the city, and like all the stuff with where the hobgoblins are, it's like almost entirely just goblins.
Yeah.
And so here it's definitely like he's not overwhelmed. He's just like, this is just it's so different that he's gone beyond being overwhelmed to just being like, I can't actually comprehend any of this, so it doesn't matter. I'm just like, wow, this is cool. But like, I've seen already. I've just seen too much that none of it is like freaking me out, because everything is freaking me out, and the only way to cope is just like, oh, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah. Cool. So, what was the history check? So we kind of got very derailed.
Yeah, that's all right. I had a natural 20 for a 24.
And what was the question you were asking?
Through Molokov towards the Auric. Like, have you seen these guys before? What are they about?
Yeah. He will say no. I know that's a bit of a waste of a natural 20, but no, I've not seen this. And actually, to be fair, even with Hera bumping in as well, it is very strange for a dean of the college to hire private security around an event. There are events all the time at the colleges. They have students that are security. They have Shan and the police force of Shan to maybe have a couple of extra just presence, like when a college has like a open day or something, there might be a couple of Auckland police officers wandering around kind of thing, but they're probably not being hired by the university. These guys look intentionally hired for this. And yes, there is what F mentioned was the Magister's Ball tomorrow night. And then that this crown is going on public display. But Lawhold College has shown off artifacts before. They've got the museum. This is kind of Molokov saying this as well. They've had rare artifacts before by any means, but never hired masked people to be stationed around the university and such.
I mean, with our knowledge, that makes sense.
Yeah. DM. Sorry, you go. Yes.
Just on that, with that role. So neither of us have ever heard of the Auric. Like, this is a security force doesn't ring any bells of like, oh, I've heard of these guys existing.
So I think that's where you probably wanted to come in. Jalou.
Yeah, because I was like, my background as a mercenary veteran says mercenary life. Have I heard of these guys?
Yep, I'm going to say no role necessary. You can go off the back of that natural 20. You kind of can chime in as well that these are probably not well known, but they are a group that kind of, if you want to maybe pay them under the table, if you maybe want to, have a force quite quickly. And the thing that piques your interest in this conversation is that there are recruiters and securities. They're not recruiters, like security kind of henchmen, like probably who you just interacted with. Pretty dangerous. Use psychic energies to kind of enforce themselves. But their kind of leaders, or like the commissioner or the head of each kind of group have been known to use blood magic. And that kind of would set off a bit of an alarm bell with you of why would the university want to hire someone that even delves into that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess as we're walking up.
Let's put it that way. It seems off. If Monash University was like, hey, we've got a privatized security group, everyone would be like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess as we're walking, I'd be like, I might have been like, in my mind running through, because it's like, oh, it's something that I can kind of hold on to. And I'm like, I know where I've seen these guys or heard of these guys before. Yeah, and so I'll pass that on.
Because I feel like the initial answer to just being a straight no was a bit harsh for a natural 20. I will give you that they are immune to being frightened. That's what you've heard. That's what you've heard on the grapevine of mercenaries, is that's why people hire these guys, because they will stand until the last minute.
They're quite literally fearless. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I know we've seen like a handful walking around, and maybe a little bit out of Jalug's information, and I don't want to be the third person writing off this natural 20 without rolling the dice, but they all seem to be of one race.
They're masked.
So, okay, hard to tell.
And that's kind of the thing as well, is they're all fully got greaves down to their hands and then black gloves.
Okay.
They've got I say armor, but like it's not like armor. They're not, like I said, they're not intimidating. They don't look threatening, but you could tell that if they had to step in, you wouldn't want to be the one in the fight.
Yeah, but there's no way to deduce who or what they actually are. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so you kind of have this bit of discussion, and then you step through into Plague's quarters, and you can tell that this Molokov and Hera would have seen this, but each of the houses are split in two. You've got your order and your chaos. This is definitely the chaos, and boy, does it feel like it when you walk in. There are stacks of books just piled up against the walls. There's like 3 rugs on the entranceway, which is cozy to walk into, but it's like it visually is just a bit disorientating. And what you notice is that these little, with an R before the G, Plague. These little thopter kind of things with little motors on their heads, zipping round and picking things up and moving them around. And there's a couple of students that kind of move out of their dormitories and, leave the door open back to their thing, and they've got their books in their hands and their coffee in the other, and it's a weird mix of chaos, basically. You can feel some elemental energies moving around the place. It's not necessarily cold winter, but you can tell that there's fire elemental energy just moving through the building just to keep it at a nice temperature. Instead of aircon, they have air elemental sigils up in the corners to just keep the air moving, and so on and so forth. But eventually, you get to Dean Plague's office, or maybe one of the students just points, up the stairs, move out of my way, kind of moves on. You knock on the door.
Up the stairs, but totally points like down a hallway instead of to the stairwell.
Yes.
Yeah.
You eventually get to the door, and as you knock on it, you just hear from inside, come in, I expect you're the adventurers. And the door kind of swings open, and you can see that it's on a mechanism that kind of winds it. And as you step into this room, it is a bombshell. That's just stuff everywhere. And the picture I'm about to show you does look menacing because it's based on his Magic the Gathering card. That's the only image that actually exists of him. As you see an orc professor with a big collared robe on and he's obviously self-indulged in having every accessory added to it. He's got charms on his wrist. He's got a tome on his side. He's got all this around. As you see, this guy not casting fire magic at you, but he is kind of just it's very intimidating. But he is relaxing behind his desk and just eating. He's got like a pie in his hand. He just finishes eating it as the crumbs kind of trestle down his tusk and beard, and looks up at you, and you are met with white eyes as he goes, please come in, ignore the mess if there is any still around. And you look around and there is mess everywhere. And you see that he kind of looks past you and reaches behind his collar and presses a device, and you see the device closes the door behind you. Give me a perception check.
Anyone?
No, not with that disadvantage.
Also no. How does a 7 sound? Hey!
Yep. Oh, okay, you see on his desk. Yeah.
Nothing is
You
sweet.
kind of do a bit of a glance to see if you can just catch anything of note, but weirdly enough, that's not in common, is it? Oh, it's not in. I can't remember exactly all the languages you speak. You rattle through them, and it's not. But you notice that all the books on his desk have the words are almost raised a little bit in dots, magical dots along, and you discern that Professor Plug is blind.
Ah,
Yes, he's not possessed. Please, come in. Welcome to the Lord Hold College. My guards tell me that you've travelled from a fair distance. Yes. You see, he kind of gives a grin and goes, "You don't need to explain that to me." And you can kind of tell that there must be some sort of scrying he does, or you know, um, he's almost amused that it's been a long time since someone's given him that help. But he goes, "Yes, yeah, please." And then he just moves his hands up and claps, and you see from like behind some of the tomes of books and stuff, they all falter down. It's almost like a tower of books almost falls on you, and you kind of go to react, but the books then turn themselves into a chair, and then another falls, and they kind of stack themselves up and across, and 5 chairs lay themselves out for you.
thank you. Thanks for seeing us on such short notice. Sorry to just drop in relatively unannounced.
I
do
like
have
your
a
sense of humor.
Yeah. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh, dude.
You see, he actually laughs at it as well.
we do have a travel permission seal. It came from New Throne, but we've popped in from
Corona Peak.
Corona Peak.
Well, pass it over. And he reaches out his hand, grabs it, and you see he kind of feels around it. It's an emblem basically, and feels around and oh well, a long time since I've been to that part of the world. Oh, I wonder how Blorin is. Yes. Well, welcome to Morgrave University. As always, I must ask, what is your purpose here? Why have you travelled to us? Are you here to study?
Two of us are current students or graduates. I'll let them explain.
Me and my friend here actually are already part of the university. I
Oh.
study under Professor Tavash. We're back to visit him, among other things. Well, we heard there was the gala tomorrow evening.
Oh.
Uh,
You see, he kind of stops at the gala thing. Doesn't have a reaction to Devesh like everyone else has. It'd be good to see your old professor as paranoid as he gets about all things. I'm surprised you've been invited to the ball. Usually that is reserved for quite esteemed guests. Tell me, how did you receive your invitations?
oh, I don't believe we are, strictly speaking, invited just yet. We just had heard about.
He gives a bit of a laugh and goes, "If only we could all just walk into the parties and soirees that we wanted to." No, well, unless Tavash is willing to part with his invitations, or you manage to get hold of your own, I don't think you'll be getting in there, as cunning as you might be. Well, but if you are here to see the crown, as I suppose you are, then you can wait for the rest of us, like the rest of everyone else, and see it on display the day after tomorrow.
It is kind of fortunate timing, and word travels far. We heard about the crown when we were still back over towards Staraluska.
Oh, yes, the discovery by Tullus and her team is quite something to be amazed by, she tells me. I have not had the privilege of being in the room with it as yet and not had the chance to study it, but she assures me that, it'll change our way of thinking, that's for sure. I imagine she might give a sneak peek of it at the gala tomorrow, which I'm quite excited for. All the faculty will be there, and some special guests from afar as well. Oh, a long list of, I'm sure, principals and presidents of towns throughout Khorvaire, and heads of houses and nobles and whatnot. I suppose you'll find every bit of ponce and soiree there. Oh, yes, let me just get all their personal details for you and pass them on to total strangers, as he kind of has a bit of a laugh to himself. No, I don't have the list personally. Tullus is curating that herself. If you want to ask your professor, Tavash, it's up to him whether he wants to share who he knows is going or not. But, well, what the heck? Why the heck would I tell you? He says.
Yeah, it's totally not our place. Ignore me, as you were.
I don't see if you've got any bad intentions or anything. Let me see. I'm supposed to ask: are you armed? Are you looking for any kind of dark magic or anything? But I get the good sense from you lot that you're not here to cause too much trouble.
We're just here to cross the T's and dot our lowercase J's.
Yeah, I love it. He kind of reaches into his desk and pulls out another pie and starts eating it. No, nothing from me. I will inform the new guard of who you are and what to look out for. You shouldn't have any trouble from them, as long as you don't cause any trouble yourself.
Whereabouts? Where'd you get those pies from? If we're after a bit of food.
Ah, yes. Well, if you go down to the Bowtie Tavern, I'm supposing you'll want a place to sleep. Usually, travelers that are visiting the university will stop by there and have a bite to eat and a place to sleep. Not sure what they're charging these days. I guess that's the privilege of being a dean. He laughs to himself again.
And sorry, just one more. I used to work with a couple of the Oryx. Whereabouts do they stay? I might see if I could catch up with some old friends.
Oh, I would be surprised if you could recognize any of them. All that gear they keep on, but well, Tellus says it's important for the sake of the crown. But I believe they're staying between there and Firejolt Tavern.
Thank
Firejolt
you
Cafe.
very much. Thank you very much.
We don't
Oh.
need like visitors badges or anything. Is that what people do at places like this?
Oh, no, we're not in. Name some other university that's in like Alandir or something. No, we don't need to worry with that. Just keep your noses clean.
Yes, sir. Easy enough.
Well, if there's anything else I can help you with, I do have quite a bit to get along with. You can see he's like just changed to impatience straight away.
But that's quite all right. You've been very helpful. We appreciate you meeting with us, Professor.
Well, enjoy your stay and look forward to seeing you the day after tomorrow and maybe having a discussion around this new artifact.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you will learn far more about it than we will, and it seems interesting. Sure.
No, I'm said it's world changing. As he presses the collar on his button and the door starts to open again.
All right.
I suppose we better go and see my professor. Let him know that we are here.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So,
Mark.
as we,
Gently.
if we're heading out, oh, just talking to the other guys. After we see this professor, should we go check out the Bowtie Tavern? And I don't know. I'm a bit surprised to see. I mean, I don't really know unis, but there are X around. Maybe we do visit the 5 as well if we've got some time. I mean, I know you guys want to see this crown, so.
I mean,
Good to
Clark said that there's a whole bunch of heads of houses and that coming here, right? Seems right up the alley of the people we're
Go deal.
concerned of meeting.
I was just going to say that the gala is a good distraction. Never a time to make a swipe for it. So even everyone was partying and drinking.
Did it?
It's just a painting of the crown.
Entirely possible.
It's not urgent. I did let him know that we were going to be coming back to Shan. It would be nice to see him and maybe see how much he knows about this crown. It does seem like if Professor Blag doesn't know much, then the demon's obviously keeping it quite tight-knit, but could be worth a try. It's
How
not,
much can you trust this professor of yours?
oh, I would trust him with my life.
Then I think that's the person we have to talk to. We have a whole backstory to trust someone with and somehow get our way in closer to everything that's going on. So, gotta start somewhere.
I mean, it's the start of the day. Yeah, so tomorrow night is the ball, or the gala, and then the next day it will be on display,
Probably.
presumably.
Yes,
If it hasn't been stolen by old Johnny Boy. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Boris.
that's not a bad idea. I mean, I can go and discuss with the professor. Maybe one or two of you come with me. Perhaps Molokov stays with the rest, so you don't get lost. It's quite a big university.
Yeah, didn't think about that part.
And
I
then
don't mind coming with you.
perhaps we meet up at one of the taverns later on.
Yeah,
The
what
bow
was it?
tie tavern. Bow tie.
Yeah, Bowtie Tavern and Fire Jolt Cafe.
That's right, Fire Jolt. Bowtie.
All right. Well, as you kind of leave the offices of the Lawhold College, I think we'll end it there as we can come up with a plan of how to split if need and sort out our way around this.